Good day. I'm watching the latest news on CNN, and the breaking news at the moment is that Osama bin Laden has been shot dead in a firefight by US forces. And that brings about memories of a few years ago in 2001 with 9/11, where Al-Qaeda members were willing to die for their faith. They were willing to kill other people for their faith, because other people endangered their faith in their faith. Faith is dangerous. Let's put it in another sentence. Faith in your own faith is dangerous, because it is not faith in God. If people put their faith in traditions and practices instead of putting their faith in God, it is dangerous. There's a passage in the Bible, in the book of Luke, where Jesus speaks to the Pharisees, where he eats with them, and he criticizes their traditions, criticizes their practices, and criticizes their methods in their religion. He says to them, their practices and laws, self-made laws, keeps people from God and doesn't invite people closer to God. And he says in that passage that God said that prophets and apostles will be killed and persecuted because they endanger people's faith in their faith. And that's why Jesus was crucified at the end of the day, because he criticized their faith in their faith. He criticized their traditions and self-made laws, and then they crucified him. Now just think of your own faith. What do you believe in? We sometimes believe it is right not to forgive somebody because that other person deserves it. Sometimes we believe it is good to show your wrath and aggression towards someone else because they need it. We look down to other people because they don't use the same traditions and practices that we do in our congregation, or use in our congregation, or in our church. We believe to do everything that is good for me. And that's why I hurt other people, because I put myself always first. But what does faith in God teach us? Faith in God teaches us that you must be willing to sacrifice yourself like Jesus did. Jesus sacrificed himself, gave himself for us. He was willing to forgive, and he was willing to serve us. And where faith in God is the important thing, you are willing to sacrifice yourself. You're willing to sacrifice your traditions and self-made laws that is not serving the Word of God. May you be able to put your faith in God first. Because faith in your own faith is dangerous. And it makes you fanatic about your faith. But faith in God makes you free. May you be able to distinguish in your own life between faith in your faith and faith in God. Put your faith in God first. Till next week.